Are you ready? Let's start. All right, so 5 things that we've learned about love. We start as a countdown, and we start with number 5. Number 5 is do the right things. A lot of people, singles and married, make such a big deal out of marrying the right person. You know, they say, oh, I think our marriage was a mistake. I married the wrong person. He's so different from me, she's so different from me. He comes from a different culture. He doesn't like what I like. His taste in music is horrible. I can't cook the food he likes. Or they start finding everything that they think is wrong with the person. Singles also remain single for a long time because every person they consider for a relationship is wrong. That one too tall, too short, too fat. Everybody's wrong. Everyone has something wrong about them. No, this person is. I don't like the car he drives, the job he has, or you know, her body shape doesn't please me. Her eyes, there's something wrong with her eyes. Someone once broke up because she had the second toe longer than the big toe. Her second toe was slightly longer than the big toe. And when he saw her like that, that was it for him. We've discovered that in a successful marriage, in a successful relationship, it's not about marrying the right person. Because, first of all, what is this right person? Right? What is a right person? Someone who's going to fit you like a glove? Well, I have bad news for you. That person doesn't exist. No one is going to fit you like a glove. No one. I don't fit like a glove for my wife. She doesn't fit like a glove for me. But we are suitable for each other. That's the best that we can get in a successful relationship, is someone who is suitable to us, which is actually God's standard for a spouse. When He made Eve, when Adam was there all alone and God said, this is not good. I'm going to make him a suitable helper. He used the word suitable, not right, not perfect, not other half, not soulmate. All of that is mush and baloney. There is no such thing as soulmate, no such thing as your perfect match, no such thing as your other half. What there is, which God created for us, was a suitable person. Suitable. What is something suitable? Something suitable is, I have a pair of shoes here that suit me very well. You know, the number is right for me. I wouldn't say it's perfect because it's a tad too big. A tad, just a tad. But I can live with it because it's very comfortable. I don't like it very tight. It has a spring here on the heel, which makes me walk all day and not feel tired. It's a very suitable shoe. It's not one of those
it doesn't wear out.
Yeah, it doesn't wear out. I've had it for a long time.
For a long time.
But if you look it up close, it's a bit ugly. It's not
chic.
It's not chic. It's not one of those that you're going to find on Fifth Avenue, one of those designer stores. Very expensive. It was relatively cheap, but it suits me fine. And I'm happy with it. But you've probably had this experience before where you went into a shop, a shoe store, and you liked a pair of shoes, but they didn't have your number. But you said, but I like these shoes. I love these shoes. They look beautiful. And then you took the shoes, either one size too big or one size too small. And then there you were walking like, right? Or maybe trying to walk and leaving the shoe behind because it was too big for you. Or stuffing it with paper or something inside to make it fit, make the size. And then you never worried again. You never worried again. Why? Because it wasn't suitable for you. But you were attracted by the looks, the appearance. So in relationships, it's much more important to do the right things than to look for the right person or to be wondering if you've married the right person. Okay? In a relationship, there are right things and wrong things you do that can help or destroy the marriage.
Another thing about this is that it's not about feel the right things. It's about doing the right things. Many times in marriage, you don't feel like doing some things. Like picking up the cup, like cleaning after, or, sometimes even talking. You don't feel like talking to your spouse. But you have to think, well, what is the right thing to do here? What is the right thing to do for him or for her? It doesn't matter how you feel. If you go by how you feel every time, you're going to not do many things for the marriage. Because you're only you're only doing what you feel like. Many times you don't feel like waking up in the morning. You want to sleep through the whole day. But you wake up because you know you have to. So the same thing in the marriage, in a relationship. You have to stop going by how you feel. Many times we get caught up with that because you don't feel like talking, you don't feel like kissing, you don't feel like hugging that person, you don't feel like telling him or her how you feel, what's going on. It doesn't matter how you feel because that's not the right thing to do. What is the right thing to do for this marriage? That's what you have to always keep focused. We always keep that in mind. Sometimes I don't feel like doing some things, but I do it because I know it's the right thing to do. It's just the right thing to do. And when you love somebody, you do the right thing. If you just feel, then you're not really loving that person, are you?
And it's the right thing for the relationship. It's not contrary to what I was just saying, that it doesn't matter always that you are right. It's to do right for the relationship. The example of the glass again. You may be right that the glass shouldn't be there on the coffee table. But the right thing for the relationship right now is not to ruin the night. So don't do it. Don't make a big deal out of that glass. Okay? So always think, what is the right thing to do? What is the fair, the just thing to do? Love has to be just. Has to be fair. There can be no love without justice. Justice has to be hand in hand with love. So you think, for example, I like she said, I'm very quiet, much more quiet than her at home. I didn't like, and I don't like to talk a lot. But it's not fair for my wife, who likes to talk, who likes to share, right? It's not fair for her to be with a brick next to her, who doesn't want to talk about his life or share or involve her in his life. It's not fair. It's unfair. So, in trying to be fair for her, I go out of my way and I try to speak more than I feel comfortable doing. Sharing more, telling her more details about my day and what happened, etc. So I do that, why? Because of doing the right thing. It's the right thing to do for her. She, in turn, will sometimes do things that she doesn't like or feel comfortable doing, but she will do it because it's right by me. It's fair for me to also sometimes have things that please me. So you have to find this balance, this justice in the relationship. So don't always be so caught up in who is right, but be worried about what is right. Okay? Don't worry, but I'm right. No, you know I'm right. No, don't worry about who is right. Worry about what is right for the relationship. You single, you're being too picky about this and that, always looking for the right person. You will never find that person, and you could stay single forever. Okay? So stop looking for the right person and start looking for the suitable person for you. Because you will find out that if you go for the suitable person using your intelligence when you're choosing, you will find out that the suitable person will become just right for you. All right? So that's lesson number 5. Lesson number 4 that we found out is love starts by knowing and not by feeling. Okay, that's again another shocking statement a lot of people find. How come love starts by knowing, not by feeling? I've always heard that love is a feeling. Well, love includes feeling, includes a feeling, but feelings are very small, very minor compared to the whole thing that love involves. If you think of love as New York State, okay? Let's say that New York State is love. Sorry, is feelings. Feelings of love, New York State. And the United States of America is love as a whole. So the United States has 51 states, one of which is feelings of love. But then the other 50 states are just as, if not more important, for love than the feelings of love. What are these other states that make up love as a whole? Things such as honesty, for example. Honesty, truthfulness, loyalty, to be faithful, to know that if your husband or your wife is away on a business trip, that you can trust him or her that he's not going to be up to any bad thing. You can trust your wife. So trust, faithfulness, truthfulness, honesty. Justice that I told you just now, to be just. Love has to have justice. Love has to have peace. Love has to have joy in it. Good sense of humor. Marriage has to have fun, has to have good humor in it. And sometimes it's painful to see someone who has a little bit more of a sense of humor, who is married to somebody who is so serious about everything in life, who is so angry and serious and always everything is about being serious. No, what are you laughing about? What are you laughing about? Everything is a joke with you. Stop laughing. It's hard to live with somebody like that, right? But love, one of the states of love is joy. And many people don't have that. They will have the feeling, they will feel the feeling of love, like what they call love at first sight, which is another big lie. And it's so unfair to the visually impaired, right? So they will have a physical attraction and then go to bed and have sex, etc. But then after that feeling, the feeling is, feelings are like this, up and down. Once it's up, then quickly it's going to be down. That's the sure thing about feeling. You know it's going to be like that. But then after you have that up moment, that high moment, and when the feeling is down, then there's nothing else to keep the relationship. What are you going to do? That's why many couples talk about divorcing, because they think, oh, there's no love anymore. We don't feel love anymore for each other. We are not in love anymore. What are they talking about? They're talking about that feeling. The feeling they had when they were dating, when they were in bed, when they saw sparks and butterflies and everything was new and romantic. But when real life set in, they didn't have the other elements of love to support that relationship.
Yeah, I was going to say that. This feeling depends on these other things to stay, right? If you don't have the other states of America, then New York is going to be, not New York anymore. It doesn't stay, it doesn't remain. That's why you have so many people getting married, getting divorced, getting married, getting divorced, because they're not focusing on every other thing, every other aspect about love. Something else also about love is that it comes by knowing. Knowing. The more I know about my husband, the more I love him. And that's very important in a marriage, because if you just stop knowing your wife the minute you say I do, then that love is going to stay there. You can't grow anymore. It's not going to get better and better and better with the days. It's going to stop. And many husbands, they stop getting to know the wife, sometimes the wife getting to know the husband. After they get married, they think, okay, that's it. I don't have to do anything else for this relationship because we already married, and so we're going to live happily ever after because we love each other now. And that's not how it is. You have to keep knowing that person. You have to keep finding out more about that person. For example, many things that I had problems with, my insecurities, were because he didn't know that I had those problems. I didn't know. So we had to find out, we had to talk, we had to go through many things to find out. And once he understood me, where I was coming from, it was easier for him to be patient, to comprehend, to be understanding. Okay, I understand where she's coming from. I'm going to give her, how do you say?
Give her a break.
I'll give her a break. And sometimes couples don't do that. Actually, many times couples don't do that. They don't give each other a break. And that's because they don't understand. They're not trying to understand where that person is coming from. Sometimes you have a woman, you're married to a woman who's been through a horrible childhood. She's been abused. She's been told many things from her mom, from her father, or maybe there wasn't a dad around. So she has such a hard time with a man figure, and you married her, and now she's giving you a hard time. And you just think, oh, this woman is so, she's so mad. What is wrong with this woman? I don't do anything. You have to understand why she's like that. You have to understand where she's coming from so you can help her. And also, the more you get to know her, the more you're going to love her, because, that's how, with everything in life. When you like something, when you like, for example, I don't know, if you like a hobby, and you really like that hobby, you find out more, you go on sites, you find out, you just research that thing because you like. And the more you find out, the more you like that thing. That's the same thing in a relationship. We have to find out each other. We have to know.
Get to know.
That's how love grows.
Yes, you can never love something or someone you don't know. Love comes from knowing, not from feeling. Okay? You can feel anything, but that's not sustainable. So you've got to invest in knowing that person, everything about that person, so you can truly develop love for her. And another advice for singles in that, you look at a person initially, you say, I don't like him, I don't like her. But then sometimes you get to work together, you get to spend time with that person, you start knowing more about that person, you start liking the person. But at first you didn't. At first you didn't. For example, we have couples here. We have married people here, right? Who's married or in a relationship? Okay. How many of you would say, initially I was not interested in my husband or wife? Initially I wasn't, but then I became. How many? Do like this. Oh, don't be afraid to raise your hand. That's true of many couples. Initially, you looked and said, nah. Maybe you even said, never. Me, never. And then you got to know the person. You say, he's everything I ever needed. She's everything I ever needed. Because you got to know. So you're single. Don't be quick to discard someone that does not initially attract you. Get to know the person. Find out more. More information. You don't have to date the person. You can start with a friendship. But get to know the person. You might get to know the person and then not like the person. That's fine. But get to know the person. That's how
even
love
problems
begins.
help you getting to know the other person.
Yes.
Right?
Problems in the marriage.
Yeah.
Yes. So number 3. The power is in her hands.
Yay!
Okay. I think when you understand what we mean, you won't clap hands very much. Well, in our experience counseling couples, we've done this hundreds and hundreds of times. We're sitting across a couple and they are talking about their problem. And then afterwards, we talk about the couples that we counseled and we say, she can change this marriage the minute she wants it, right? The power is in her hands to change the whole dynamic of the marriage. We've seen this countless times, and this is in total agreement with the Word of God, which says that the wise woman, builds up her home, right? The wise woman builds up her home. It doesn't say the wise man builds up his home. It doesn't mean that man has no responsibility with building up the home. That's not what it says. But it's interesting that it's specific about the power that women have to build up their home, or to tear it down with their own hands, as it also says the rest of the verse. So we've seen that the woman is largely responsible for either the success or the failure of the marriage. Wait, I'm not totally putting it on women, or blaming or praising, okay? We'll get to the men in a moment, all right? Because women get all, their feathers get all... What about the man? You're my husband. And my husband, he had a lot to blame as well. And no, wait, all right? We'll explain why that is, if you would like to start.
The woman has the power of influence. The woman can influence anybody she wants. Maybe because of her mother nature. She's a mother naturally, so she has this power of talking, and her words are usually very powerful to anybody who hears. I remember anything my mother said to me negative. I don't remember anything my father said to me negative. And he probably did, but I don't remember. But I remember my mom's words. Because a woman she has this thing. I don't have the word for it, but she has a way of saying things that will either put you up or put you down. And that's a very, very dangerous power, because, many times we are not aware of that. We are not aware of that. The mother is not aware of that. She will say things, because she's just stressed out. She will say things to her children, and then, the child carries that for the rest of her life. So we have to be aware of that, Because if I'm aware that whatever I say to my husband can impact him in a positive way or negative way, then I have to be, of course, then I have a lot of power in this relationship. I remember in the beginning of my marriage, my mom, one of the first things that I remember her teaching me was, be careful how you speak to your husband. And I didn't understand it back then, but now I understand. Now I understand. A man usually needs respect. He wants respect. He longs for respect. And because we have this very powerful tongue, sometimes we have a problem with respect. We have a problem. It's not because we do it on purpose. It's not because we want to tear somebody down, put somebody down. It's not like that. It's just because many times we think if we speak in a way that is going to be strong and maybe hurtful, that person's going to say, oh, okay, you're right, I'm going to change. And that's not how it is. That's not how it goes.
One reason why women have that power of influencing with words, with what she says, is because men tend to use the power of muscle to scare, to intimidate, right? That's very instinctive of men. We learn from when we are a boy, we gotta be strong, right? If we have trouble in the playground, we gotta grow, stand tall and go up right up to the person's nose and do like this. So we show power through muscle. Women don't usually do that. But they use the tongue. They won't use the muscle because they can't compete in the muscle arena. They can't compete. But here, so men tend to develop more physical strength because that's what they associate with being strong. And women associate the power of the tongue because that's what they use to impact people, even against other women, right? So in a marriage, the power of the tongue is very, very important.
And the fact that because she influences, when she changes, when I changed as a wife, I changed as a woman, I influenced my husband to change as well. And sometimes we want them to change so that we change. And usually when a man changes, he doesn't really influence the wife. By experience, we've seen this many times. He changes, she's still the way she was. But when she changes, it's almost automatic. The guy changes. And we've seen this many hundreds of times, right? Because of her influence. A man naturally wants to please a woman.
It's
right?
like we are wired to do that. We grew up we came out of a woman, right? We are hardwired to please a woman. Then we get married. We learn very quickly that if the woman in the house is not happy, nobody's happy. Nobody's happy.
Have you noticed that? You set the mood in your house.
If the husband comes home and is upset from work, is stressed out and he's angry, but the mother is okay, the wife is okay, the kids are all right. The kids go like chicks under the wing of the mom. Everybody's okay, right? But when the wife is not happy, everybody runs for cover, including the husband. He's the first one to shout, "Run for your lives, kids." Right? No one has peace in the house because everyone, the kids and the husband, they are hardwired to please the mother. She is the queen of the home. So, but unfortunately, many women use that power wrongly. And they unsettle the whole environment in the house and they manipulate it. In short, it's very damaging. So when we say the power is in her hands, what we are saying is small changes that you woman can make to your behavior, to your way of speaking, to your way of dealing with problems in your marriage, small ways can have huge impact on your marriage because you have a lot of power. So watch very, very carefully how you say things. Watch carefully. You don't have to, we're not talking about you becoming a Stepford wife. That's not what we're saying. But we are saying you have so much power that you don't have to put people down to get what you want. You can ask.
You can have them do things for you without you asking.
Or without even realizing that
You actually were the one.
you're the one who planted the idea in their
Yeah.
heads. My wife does this all the time. She gets what she wants and she makes me think that it was my idea. She's taken it up to a level of art, I can tell you. But believe me,
The
you
power
woman,
is in her hands.
you women have power. If you sometimes would just allow your husband to take the lead, for example. A lot of women complain, oh, my husband doesn't take initiative. My husband, he doesn't take initiative. I have to do everything. But you don't let him take initiative. When he does, you shoot him down. When he decides, okay, we're going to eat at this restaurant, you keep complaining about the choice of restaurant all the way through the meal to the way out of the restaurant. Then he's not going to take an initiative anymore. Next time you're going to go out, he's going to say, no, you choose what you want to eat, I'll just drive you. Or we eat at home. No, I don't want to go out. Why? Because you don't let him take the initiative. So allow him. He needs to feel confident to take that initiative.
And notice the word, allow him.
Because she has the power.
Allow him, because the power is hers. So it's not a bad thing, girls. It's not bad at all. We just need to know how to use it.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot more effective for both of you, for everyone, okay? Now, of course, the exception is you married someone who is really doesn't deserve to have a wife. And I'm talking about extreme cases of men who are intent on being evil, on being wicked and treating badly and abusing. Of course, in that case, you don't have to expose yourself to that. All right? So there are times when the woman has the power, but her husband won't have any of it. So she has to use her power to get herself out of the abuse and not continue in it.